Zahra would have. Good evening, everyone. It's already evening time. Look at that. What time? It's almost, it's 6:30. Can you believe it? We have been at this, Sarah, since we started at 10 in the morning, which is fantastic. So thank you all so much for being with us again and for joining us throughout the day as we express a day of celebration and of appreciation. Celebrating the fact that, we're so grateful for all the support that everyone has given us insofar as reaching our goal for Long Beach Gives. Initially, our goal was 10,000 and you helped us reach that goal. Then we increased our goal to 15,000 and you helped us reach that goal. And now we have a new goal of 18,000, which we are pretty close to it. We are $826 away from reaching $18,000. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to all of us as we continue our work at the Interfaith Council in creating communities of compassion and of peace among people of different faiths and cultures. So you have until midnight, my friends, to go on longbeachgives.org and find South Coast Interfaith Council and make your donation. And please know that no donation is too small or too large. Truly every single dollar counts. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts so much. As we kind of conclude, we're in like the concluding realm of the day. We wanted to highlight our different faiths that we have, but through the arts. So this session tonight is actually called The Art of Faith. So we have music, we have poetry, different faiths, different cultures. And so I am actually going to pass it to our president, Sarah Dean. Thank you, Sarah, for taking the lead on tonight's program. And let's continue. So Sarah, where are you? Let's spotlight you. There you are.
Thank you, Milia. I am so thrilled to be here today. As we've touched on earlier as well, these have been such difficult times for so many of us. And there have been mornings where it's just hard to feel motivated to get up, to get dressed in real clothes. And so it was a real joy to celebrate today, to celebrate the community's love for one another. So I'm thrilled to be here, especially for this part of the program where we're going to be celebrating with music and poetry. I'm super thrilled. And I'm excited to introduce our very first guest today, and the Bystrom family, who are absolutely adorable. This is Peter and Jessica Bystrom and their 6 kids. They're dear friends of Cheryl. So I'm going to invite Cheryl to tell us more about them.
Just a second. I have to stop spotlighting you. Okay. So Peter and Jessica Bystrom, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. They have 5 children. They have Xander, who is 16, Spencer, who is 12, Maya, who is 10, and they're twins of Aubrey and Alice that are 7. And they are just an adorable family. There's just so much, there's such fun people, very spiritual people. They're just the epitome. Oh, and their faith is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is my church, and we are in the same what we call ward together. It's our congregation, and I just love the Bystroms, and they're very talented, and so I'm excited to hear them sing.
Share my life with them through all eternity.
Yay, that was so amazing. Thank you, Bystrom family. That was
Love.
Families Can Be Together Forever and I Am a Child of God. That was two of our very favorite songs at church. And thank you for participating. That was wonderful.
Yay, that was great. Thank you. And thank you for being so.
Thank you all.
If this was my little one here, she's almost 2, the whole house right now, that room would be just falling apart. So you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your talent and time with us.
Really, guys, that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us. I hope we get to do this live together one day.
In person.
We'd love to have you as our guest. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you so much for having us. Thanks, guys.
Hope you stick around. Oh, how beautiful. Honestly, that was, I forget how hard, how isolating the pandemic has really been, right? And to be able to share something like that, it really moves you. Thank you. Was that, Cheryl, was that you and Carol that helped recruit them?
I suggested them and Carol recruited them. Yep.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Next, we have Victor Thompson. Victor is the past stake president of the Long Beach Stake of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. His wife is Marie, and his children are, and I don't want to say correctly, Ellie, Emma, Andrew, and Amelia. His parents, Victor and Desma Thompson of American Samoa, taught him to give to others. During the pandemic, he's been giving the gift of music to support students, coworkers, and the community to address the tremendous stresses we're facing today. So he performs aloha music and mindfulness 6 days each week on Zoom, and also the streaming channel Twitch for young people. I have no idea what Twitch is, by the way. I'm just putting that out there. I have no idea. I have Facebook. I got on Twitter like 3 months ago, and I thought that was like, I'm up to date now, and apparently not. So we're really excited and grateful to have Victor here, who will be sharing I'll Build You a Rainbow on the ukulele. Hello, Victor. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. And aloha, friends. It's good to see all of you today. And this is ukulele right there. And it is an instrument from Hawaii. As was mentioned, my family is from American Samoa. And I am a native of Long Beach, California, born in St. Mary Hospital. My father actually worked there. He was probably the first Samoan ever to work at St. Mary in 1960. But this song is sung by 2 artists that are very popular back on the island. They are Kapena and Willie K. So I will admit this is a little bit of a sad song, but I think the message to all of us is there are people up there that are looking out for us. Okay, so here we go. I'll build you a rainbow high up above. Send down the sunbeams, plums full of love. Sprinkle down raindrops, teardrops of joy. I'll be happy in springtime, watching over my boy. Once there was a boy named Jamie, whose best friend was his mom. While all the other moms were going to their fashion shows, she'd stay home and have long talks and bike rides with Jamie. She was considered to be one of the best football players on the block. One day, Jamie was called home from school, and he saw this great big white ambulance parked in front of his house. He saw his dad talking to a doctor, and his dad said, "Jamie, the sunbeams, plums full of love, sprinkle down raindrops, teardrops of joy. I'll be happy in springtime, watching over my boy. She closed her eyes and she was gone. As the ambulance pulled away, Jamie's dad started to cry. As Jamie felt his dad's tears on his cheek, he started to cry too. But as he looked up over the sky, there was a great big rainbow over his house. And he said, Daddy, it's all right. Because families are forever. I'll build you a rainbow way high up above. Send down the sunbeams, plums full of love. Sprinkle down raindrops, teardrops of joy. I'll be happy in springtime, watching over my boy. I'll be happy in heaven, watching over my boy. I love you, Mom. Aloha.
That is so sweet. Victor, if I could sing and play like you, I'd get nothing done. I would sit in a room and just sing to myself all day. Thank you so much for sharing with us, being with us here.
It's been an honor. Thank you so much.
And again, I hope we can do this live one day. Thank you. Next up, I have one of our very own SCIC board members, Sam Shulman. And Sam, you didn't send me a bio. So that means you have to talk about yourself you have to introduce your own self.
Oh, right. Well, my name is Sam Shulman. I am 20 years old. I'm turning 21 next month. And I am Jewish. And I've been a member of the board for how long? Since
you were in diapers, pretty much.
Essentially, yeah. But I have a reading. I was encouraged to participate in this lovely event. And so I was thinking of what I could possibly do. And for a second, I was thinking of potentially doing some sort of interfaith rap. But after giving it some consideration and some research, I found a collection of interfaith poems where I found a poem in particular that I really connected with and wanted to share, as well as another story that I wanted to share, as well as a special secret at the end that you'll have to wait and stick around for. So this is from the collection of poems called One Face, a collection of interfaith poems by Mark Allen Kaplan. And for anyone that's been on the lives all day, Cantor Elon was talking about how when he went to Jerusalem, his dad implored him to, he took him to the different houses of worship, and he was taught to love thy neighbor, essentially. And this has very similar sentiments. So it's called I Dream of a Jerusalem of Peace. I dream of a Jerusalem of peace, a city of the world, not belonging to any one nation, a city of God, equally governed by the servants of the one God, Adonai, Heavenly Father, Allah, a city of heaven, where the sacredness of life is valued above the possession of land. I dream of a Jerusalem of peace. I dream of a forgiven city, where brothers and sisters of the three paths put down their swords and remember their kinship. I dream of a city of light, where ancient fear and hatred is transformed into love. I dream of a holy city for all of humanity, where the temples of all faiths are rebuilt in the name of the one God of many names. I dream of a Jerusalem of heart, of spirit, of freedom. I dream of a Jerusalem of peace. So that was the first poem that I found, and I really like that. It has the interfaith message of promoting peace and equality. And so as Sarah mentioned, I am currently serving on the board of directors for the South Coast Interfaith Council. And at all of our board meetings, there's this specific segment where a member of the board gets up and shares about their faith tradition. And my rabbi, Howard Leibson, was assigned to share about his faith. However, he was unable to make it to the meeting that day. So he emailed me a short story to read aloud on his behalf. It was essentially a cold read for me, as it was my first time ever reading it. This moving story invokes an array of emotions and left everyone in the room, including myself, at a sheer loss for words upon reciting it. This is the story of Yankel and how he survived a night in Auschwitz, author unknown. In Crown Heights, there was a Jew, Yankel, who owned a bakery. He survived the camps. He once said, "You know why it is that I'm alive today? I was a kid, just a teenager at the time. We were on the train in a boxcar, being taken to Auschwitz. Night came and it was freezing, deathly cold in that boxcar. The Germans would leave the cars on the side of the tracks overnight, sometimes for days on end without any food, and of course, no blankets to keep us warm," he said. Sitting next to me was an older Jew. This beloved elderly Jew from my hometown I recognized, but I had never seen him like this. He was shivering from head to toe and looked terrible. So I wrapped my arms around him and began rubbing him to warm him up. I rubbed his arms, his legs, his face, his neck. I begged him to hang on. All night long, I kept the man warm this way. I was tired. I was freezing cold myself. My fingers were numb, but I didn't stop rubbing the heat onto this man's body. Hours and hours went by this way. Finally, night passed. Morning came and the sun began to shine. There was some warmth in the cabin, and then I looked around the car to see some of the other Jews in the car. To my horror, all I could see were frozen bodies, and all I could hear was a deathly silence. Nobody else in that cabin made it through that night. They died from the frost. Only 2 people survived, the old man and me. The old man survived because somebody kept him warm. I survived because I was warming somebody else. Let me tell you the secret of Judaism. When you warm other people's heart, you remain warm yourself. When you seek to support, encourage, and inspire others, then you discover support, encouragement, and inspiration in your own life as well. And that, my friends, is Judaism 101.
Sam, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that I have you in the boxcar with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you recall it correctly. I remember when you read that out loud for the first time, and I didn't realize you hadn't read it. You were just reading it, and you yourself were surprised by the words and where the story went, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, for serving on the board for so long with so much love and always smiling. Thank you for being here tonight.
Of course, and I did promise a super special surprise. And in the Jewish faith, during the High Holy Days, the New Year, Yom Kippur, it is common that the ram's horn, also known as a shofar, is blown. And I have to give a warning. I haven't tried this in quite some time, but I have a shofar with me, and I will attempt to give it a go. So usually the rabbi calls for a certain tone, a certain amount of blows, and they all have different distinct names, but I'm just gonna see where this goes. and that is to signify the new year and to let others know that there's a party going on.
Lashana Tova, thank you
Lashana
so
Tova,
much,
everybody. Happy
Sam.
New Year.
Happy New Year's to you and yours. Thank you so much.
Much
Oh
love.
my gosh, this is I'm so happy to be doing this with everyone today. Next, I have a dear friend of mine. Malik and I met this last year as we embarked on a really meaningful fellowship together. Malik Gwaduri is a Shia Imami Ismaili Muslim raised in Los Angeles. He completed his undergrad at Cal State University Fullerton, majoring in technology innovation, and he obtained his MBA from Pepperdine University with a concentration in finance. And so Malik and I were both part of the 2019-2020 New Ground Muslim Jewish Partnership for Change Fellowship cohort. Malik has also served and serves in various capacities within his Ismaili community as a secondary religious education teacher, and head of instruction, and as an ambassador in his local city on behalf of his Ismaili community, regularly meeting with the mayor, the chief of police, fire chief, and he's delivered multiple prayer invocations at city council meetings in Torrance. Professionally, he's a software engineering manager at AT&T, and he's just an all-around fantastic guy. And if you have the privilege of ever being in Malik's presence, he just has this energy that makes you feel so warm and just fills you with joy. So I'm so grateful to have you here with us, Malik. What will you be sharing with us tonight?
Sure. So I will be singing today Zahir Muqaddar. It is a naat in the praise of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And it's usually sang on his birthday. Zahir Muqaddar, Huzur Haq se salam aaya, payam aaya, jhukao nazari, bichao palki, adab ka ala maqam aaya, Zahir Muqaddar. ये कौन सर से कफन लपेटे चला है उल्फत के रास्ते पर ये कौन सर से कफन लपेटे चला है उल्फत के रास्ते पर फरिश्ते हैरत से तक रहे हैं ये कौन सी है तेरा माया Zahir Muqaddar. ये राह हक है संभल के चलना यहाँ है मंजिल कदम कदम पर ये राह हक है संभल के चलना यहाँ है मंजिल कदम कदम पर पहुँचना तर पर तो कहना आका सलाम लीजिए गुलाम आया Zahir Muqaddar.
Malik, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have you as a fellow Board member, did you have anything else you want to share tonight?
That's it. Just happy to be here, and let's raise some funds for this amazing cause.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Malik. Thank you for joining us and being here. I know you had a long work day today, so thank you, and that was absolutely lovely. Awesome. Next up, I have the fabulous Hannah Brooks, daughter of our president-elect Susan Brooks. Hannah is a high school senior and the youth group president at Temple Bethel in San Pedro. She has sung with the Los Angeles Jewish Children's Choir and performs with Haven Academy of the Arts and the South Bay Conservatory. She is also absolutely fabulous. When I think of one word that describes Hannah, it's unbreakable. There's nothing that this girl can't do. And she is such an inspiring young woman. And I am grateful to be in her orbit and to have her around my daughter. So thank Hannah for being here. And Hannah is going to be singing Watch What Happens from the production of Newsies.
Oops. Well, hold on, sorry.
Sorry, so they can see better.
That's okay. That's the joys of live action.
Okay.
And watch what happens. Those kids will live and breathe. And once they're sad, you watch what happens. But all I know is nothing happens if you just give in. It can't be any worse than how it's been. And it just so happens that we just might win. So whatever happens, let's begin.
Oh my God, you blew my every expectation. So Hannah, is this one of the productions you were in?
No, I wanted to be in it, but my mom made me go to a Jewish camp instead.
Well, you have to invite us the next time you're in a production. I think that will count as an SCIC field trip. I would love to see you perform. That was amazing.
Come see me in my next role as Julia Trojan in Band. Well, it's not an official show. It's Cast Yourself as Your Dream Role, and I'll be playing Julia Trojan from Bandstand.
Wow, incredible. This is during, like, virtually? Is that how they're doing it?
Yeah, it's basically, I'm playing a war widow, so yeah.
Wow, well, make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for being here with us, Hannah. Is there something you want to say to everyone who's here with us?
Sorry, I just froze. Please send in your donations, and also Lashana Tova to every Jew out there, and also please vote.
Yes, thank you so much, Hannah. Have a wonderful night. Hope you stick around. Thank you. Next we have Cantor Stacey Morse, who is just such a fun person, full of joy. I actually love her bio, so I'm going to read it. Born of I think she wrote this herself, and her personality just oozes in this writing. Born of a brilliant hippie and a Republican MacGyver, Stacey Morse lives for harmony in all its forms. Her family drove from New York to California, harmonizing all the way while she was a toddler. Stacy has led services and life cycle events for all denominations throughout the country and internationally, as well as on the high seas and by invitation for our armed forces. Since receiving her graduate degree, Stacy has taught children and adults, written, edited, and held the oddest job collections ever in order to support her cantorial habit. Like the rest of her family, Stacy has sailed and ridden motorcycles her whole life. She's an editor, teacher, Renaissance Fair actor, and member of a community emergency response team. Most of all, she loves to hear the congregation harmonize with her. Let's make some joyful noise for Hazan Stacey Morse.
Oh, just a second. I'm sorry. She was working tonight, and so she recorded hers a little bit earlier today. So I'm going to be sharing that.
No problem.
Here's one of her songs.
Eli, Eli, Shelo yigamel leolam, Hachol v'hayam, Rish Rush Shalamayim, Berat HaSamayim, Tfilat Adam, Hachol v'hayam, Rish Rush Shalamayim, Berat HaSamayim, Tfilat Adam. Oh God, my God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the water, the crash of the heaven, the prayer of the heart.
Oh my God, she's just seeing her face fills me with so much joy. And we have one more from her, I believe, right, Cheryl?
Yes. Just a minute.
And she's always so generous with her talent. She shares her gift with us almost every year.
Oh, she was so patient with me earlier today when we were recording this. So, yeah, she's amazing.
I'll share an extraordinary story about her. She was somehow either at a garbage dump or something. I think it was like a waste disposal site. And there was a piece of furniture that caught her eye. And so she walks over to it. This was, I think, 2 years ago after I knew her. And so she was like, she saw something that looked like not English carved into the wood. And so she goes out of her way to kind of figure out what the piece is. It turned out it was a piece of wood furniture that had Arabic calligraphy on it. And as a Jew, she immediately felt that this was sacred to Muslims. And so she picked it up and she took it home because she felt badly that this potentially piece of scripture was sitting discarded and disrespected, not being treated as a sacred text. And so then she brought it into her own home and then called me up and said, "Hey, Sarah, I think I found some Arabic calligraphy. Could you check it out? And I want to make sure I treat it with respect." And it turned out it was this beautiful piece, and somebody had carved in Prophet Muhammad, God, and his Prophet Muhammad's family members' names into Arabic. So she had really done, it was such a beautiful act of charity, and really an embodiment of what it means to love thy neighbor, to honor the stranger, and to be in reverence of God and humanity. So I just wanted to share that real quick. Are you ready, Cheryl?
Yes, that's a beautiful story. And here comes her beautiful song.
You can ride the stars, sail the seven seas. You can cure the heart, raise a family. But no matter what, where or who you are, you have the power to be. You can teach a child that love is evermore. And when you see them smile, your soul begins to soar. But no matter because or how you are, you have the power to be, the power to be all you've ever dreamed of, the power to be brave enough to see, the power to be beyond your own right. power to be. You can fight the fight and conquer new frontiers. You can learn to sing and bring the world to peace. But no matter how, when or why you run, you have the power to be, the power to be all you've ever dreamed of. The power.
Cheryl, I think there's something with the volume, my friend.
Spread your wings and you have the power to be.
Oh, thank you, Cantor Stacey. So the first piece she performed for us was Eli, written by Hannah Sanesh, a Jewish Hungarian paratrooper and poet during World War II. She was caught and executed by the Nazis, but left us some really beautiful poetry that has been put to the music that we just heard. The second piece was The Power to Be, written by Michael Herpaz, used by permission of the artist, and Dan Spector is the pianist. And Dan has also joined us at our last Interfaith concert. It's so wonderful to have all these people in our SCIC family. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for sharing those. Thank you so much, Stacy, wherever you are. We love you and can't wait to be with you in person one day soon. I'm really excited about the next one. The next one is Rishtab Sharma, who is the youngest disciple of Maestro legend Pandit Ravi Shankar. He comes from a long line of renowned musicians and instrument makers from India. And he actually recorded this earlier for us today in a really nice studio. He lives in New York, so he said he's going to be sleeping right now. So this is a message he has sent to share on his behalf. In our tradition and faith, musical instruments have the same stature as godly figures and idols, which makes perfect sense because whenever I strum my instrument, I feel connected to a supreme power above us. Born in a family of musical instrument makers, I was 10 years old when I decided to take up the sitar as the instrument I will play all of my life. Since then, I have tried to keep the tradition and the teachings of my Reverend Guru Pandit Ravi Shankar as pure as possible. I am honored to be a part of this beautiful event put together by the South Coast Interfaith Council, and I look forward to playing for all of you in person soon. Thank you. Rishi, thank you so much for sharing your talent and your gift with us. It really is our honor, and I am now going to share my screen. Am I able to do that? I am. Okay. Let me have the video queued up here. Oh my goodness. Wow. Rishab, thank you so much for sharing that with us today. And I also want to give a shout out to my friend Sangeeta Kausik, who is the first Hindu chaplain in NYU. And she's the one who actually made this connection for us just in the last day. So thank you, Sangeeta. I am so grateful to still have you as a friend. We've been friends since 7th grade. Yeah, that's a really long time. I know things. She also knows things, though, to be fair. Last, let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone here. The Bystroms, we had Victor, Sam, Malik, Hannah, Cantor Stacey, Rishab. Last but not least is my daughter. So about 10 months ago, I found out that my daughter sings. I had no idea. Somehow I caught a bit of a recording she had made. So she's very reserved. She usually sings only in front of her brother or her best friend. It's very rare for me to catch her. So I asked her this week, I said, honey, please, I know you love the South Coast Interfaith Council. Maybe your voice could help us. And she said, first she said, no, I don't think so. But then when I brought up the fact that maybe her voice would inspire and move people, she said, okay, Mom. So I'm gonna share, she said, I'm not quite ready to do live yet. So she recorded this earlier today, about an hour before we got on. So bear with me as I pull up the recording.
Oh, you want me to do it?
I have it. I have
Okay.
it right. Yeah. Hopefully it's the right one. Big enough on the screen? Oh, there we go.
Hi, my name's Zara, and this is This Mountain by Fazia. Climbing up this mountain, climbing up twice, hoping that I make it this time, but I'm so done with hoping. Cause hoping is the feeling is to falling down this mountain, falling down again, boom, boom, my beat still beating in the end, I'm choking. But that's just what they wanted, so I get up off the ground and shake it out, la la la, come look at me now, look at me now. I'm not here to talk, I'm not here to talk. I'm just here to walk the world. I'm gonna make it up this mountain, make it to the top. Show them what I'm made of, show them what I've got. I will. So mark my words before you swallow yours. I'm gonna make it up this mountain, make it to the top. Show them what I'm made of, show them what I've got. I will. So mark my words before you swallow yours. Just like you. That's, thanks for watching. Please support the South Coast Interfaith Council.
Oops. Oh, I'm so proud of her for being brave and for everyone. We actually had a lot of young people on who shared their gifts with us. It's not easy and things happen when you're performing live, especially. So Zara performed, that was This Mountain by a Moroccan singer, Fazia. And so, I mean, a little kid's asking y'all, if you got any extra cash left, help us out here. Help us fund the South Coast Interfaith Council through the years so we can continue cultivating communities of compassion through education, service, and celebration. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it back to our fabulous executive director, Milia. Thank you so much. You've been at it all day and all week. You and Cheryl must be exhausted. Thank you for the excellent and loving service.
No worries at all. I mean, it's our pleasure, and I think it's our honor to do this. And you know what we did tonight, you know, highlighting just the amazing people we have in our community. That's something that we really pride ourselves in doing for this council, because there's so many spectacular people that are just amidst us, you know, and what we love is that we provide a platform for them to showcase who they are and learn from them and be inspired by them. And I can't, you know, I'm a note taker. I'm always taking notes, and you know, two of the pieces I thought really summed up kind of what we are, all of us collectively at this time. You know, Hannah, was it Hannah? Yeah, I think it is. Says, you know, nothing happens if we give in, right? It's so true. And I don't think it can be much truer than at this time. I mean, there are obstacles after obstacles that we're facing. And I think all of us as a collective community, be it the pandemic or the ramifications of the pandemic. But then you have, you know, I think it was Stacy that sang the song, The Power to Be. But, you know, yes, there's all these things that's happening, but nothing's going to happen if we give in, because we have the power to be. And that's what we try to do with the work that we do per the council, you know, bring people together from different faiths, from different cultures, races, ethnicities, and show that, you know, as a collective community, of people, you know, we can be better than what people think when they think about different faiths and different cultures and not getting along. You know, we pride ourselves in highlighting that, yes, we do get along, and it's beautiful when we do. And by doing so, we just create such a better world. So thank you, Sarah, and thank you for all of our artists tonight. The Bystrom family, I know it's late and you guys are still hanging on. Thank you so much. And Victor and Stacy and Hannah and Malik, and I mean, our recorded artist from Sarah to our brother in New York. My God, that was beautiful. But thank you so much. So as we bring this part to a closing, I think we have some more entertainment. We have some lovely dancing again. So I'm actually going to invite Cheryl to share about that and showcase our means of celebration through the art of dancing, as well as we did throughout the day. So Cheryl, please tell us what we're going to see right now.
All right, so we have been, so there's been dancing throughout the day. I love dancing I love being in my dinosaur costume. And I love it so much that I bought everybody in my family dinosaur costumes. And this past weekend, we put together some physically distanced, so we were all COVID safe. You're very, you know, covered in your mask when you're in your dinosaur costume videos. And this one is the highlight. We saved that one for this prime time session. We're going to be showing our version of breakdancing. So let me share that with you.
Most ridiculous things I've ever seen.
The first time I watched that, I don't know how long I laughed. I think for me, the cherry on the top was when, you know, the dinosaur had to be assisted in spinning. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl's family, for bringing us such joy. And you know, that's again something that we pride ourselves in bringing joy, and that has definitely brought us so much joy. Thank you so much, Cheryl. And I think before we conclude, I think we have a gift that we'd like to give away to our supporters as a small token of our appreciation. So Cheryl, I'm gonna pass that to you again.
Yeah,
And
so we have a $100 gift card to Trader Joe's to give away at this time. and I have randomly selected among our supporters today, and the gift card goes to Abul Sheikh Abdul Havsi. I'm sorry, I'm not good with the names.
That's okay. That's a tough name, but we'll be sure to see where he is and then get that to him. So
St. Pedro.
That was Imam Abdul Hafiz. I think that's who it was.
Oh, he's
that probably is.
Oh, perfect! Yay, he's wonderful, and we're actually gonna hopefully have Imam Hafiz for our. This is a great leeway. A way into our next program, which is going to happen at 9 o'clock, which is kind of our concluding program for the day. That's right. Thank you for all of you who've joined us throughout the day, and for those who've watched this throughout the day. We really appreciate it. You know, we really just try to kind of highlight what we do as a council through the various genres that we covered today, whether it was speaking with one another, celebration through the arts, just getting to know each other a little bit better. But that is at 9 o'clock, and we that will be a short session where we really conclude the day with, again, prayers of gratitude. And these prayers will be from the Islamic faith, the Jewish, the Baha'i, the Sikh, the Buddhist faith, and really, again, showing the power of prayer and how it unites us all. So please do join us for that at 9 o'clock. And before we conclude, thank you again to all of our participants tonight. Thank you so much. It's not easy to get on live, and we really appreciate that. And you guys are what makes us go. So thank you. And just an update in terms of our reaching our $18,000 goal, we are now at $592 away. So we're almost there, and we hope that we'll meet it. We're so grateful. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Cheryl. We'll see each other again in just a little bit. So we look forward to seeing you again at 9 o'clock as we conclude today's Long Beach Day Gives program for the SCIC. So thank you all so much. Have a good night, and we'll see you in just a little bit.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.